So it's NBA Finals time, and growing up, I absolutely loved basketball. I would spend hours just dribbling a basketball. When I was delivering newspapers, I would run down the road dribbling a basketball. I'd dribble it up the driveway, up the sidewalk, toss the newspaper, dribble it across their lawn if I could, across gravel, it didn't matter. I was constantly into basketball. As you can see, I've got a few of my cards, my basketball cards from my kid era growing up. Like, I loved basketball, everything about it, basketball cards. I've got some that are probably more valuable here. I've got a few Michael Jordans here, Kobe Bryant rookie card, whatever. But it was such an amazing time in my life. But there was one player to me that was the best. Anything else, the stats didn't matter, and it was David Robinson. And I could not get enough. I've got just a few cards here that he's on these pages, so I pulled them out. This is probably my favorite. You've got right here, him at ease. And what stood out to me with David Robinson, here I'll give you an example, is it says NBA hoops, David Robinson right here, and it says leave alcohol out. And here's this card where he's promoting. It says you don't need to use alcohol to have fun or feel more grown up. I never did, and I had a lot of fun and success. I'm thankful for my family, friends, and coaches who taught me that drinking to have fun is just plain stupid. Now I'd like to do the same for you. Now, no matter what you do at a party or any place, leave alcohol out. So as a kid, huge impact on me. I looked at him and then I looked at Dennis Rodman. Definitely glad that I picked David Robinson as my hero on the basketball court. Here's the one card that I think means the most to me, and it's his autograph card. Thanks, Jared, for this card. He gave it to me when I was a little kid, and it's got David Robinson's autograph, and he also says Proverbs 1:7 on it. So what kind of a person is willing to go out there and show what they stand for at all times? To me, that's the kind of person I want to follow. So what does Proverbs 1:7 say? It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Now, I think that we can get wisdom and instruction from a number of places, and I gained a lot of what I would consider wisdom instruction from watching people playing basketball, and here's why. You had, like I said, you had these very different characters, and you'd see people throwing fits on the court, getting angry on court, keeping their cool on court. Like, there's all these different people that we can watch and see and model our lives after, and it doesn't matter if you're a kid or not, but everything's either an example of how we should be living our lives or how we shouldn't be living our lives. So growing up, I read an article about David Robinson when I was really little, and it said that he would be able to keep track of all the things that his mom put in the cart, and he would know the total price including sales tax before she even was checking out at the cash register. And I was like, man, if David Robinson's good at math, I've got to be good at math, right? And so that person inspired me to become my best self. So thank you, David, for all that you did for me as a kid. Now, I wanted to be just like you. I'm obviously not quite tall enough to play in the NBA, and I couldn't jump like some of the other guys. But what it did teach me is that in life, in business, wherever I am, I can stand tall, and others can use me as an example how to live their life. And when I put myself in a position where I'm living my best self, like I see so many of the basketball stars doing back then, that puts me in a position where I can help lift others up the same way that while David Robinson doesn't know who I am, the things he put out there, the way he lives, the fact that he'd sign a card with a scripture on it, all those things help me to recognize I can live that way as well. So what does this have to do with business? I think that as business owners, each one of us has a great opportunity to be able to set the standard for how we do business and how business should be done. And we can do that in all areas of our business professional life. It doesn't just have to be one aspect of it, but we can demand more of ourselves. We can ensure that we're always delivering quality. We can always be our best self. And when we do that, it will create a personal brand where people around us want to associate and want to work with us because we are going to do the best that we can, and we're going to take care of the people, and we're going to keep our commitments.